Keep it natural with the Natural Healing Show.
Hi there, welcome to the Natural Healing Show on UK Health Radio. My name is Yara, I'll be your host on this show. Today on the Natural Healing Show, I would like to dedicate much love and gratitude to a man named Masaru Emoto. On Monday, 29th of September, I went to an alternatives talk with Dr. Yasuyuki Nemoto, who was there to talk on the hidden messages in water work on behalf of Dr. Masaru Emoto, who was at the time taken ill in Shanghai in Japan. So Dr. Yasuyuki Nemoto was there to give a presentation on his behalf. I approached him after the presentation, which was really thought-provoking, and did mention Dr. Gerard Pollack's fourth phase of water presentation in there as well. Dr. Yasuyuki agreed to do an interview with the Natural Healing Show, and I believe about 2 or 3 weeks after we'd done the interview, that was when Dr. Masaru Emoto passed away. So I would really like to dedicate this show to his work and his family and everyone around the world who supports the work of Hidden Messages in Water and who believes that it's there to inspire, to spread love and gratitude, and also to find out more about water carrying information. So now is the interview with Dr. Yasuyuki Nemoto on the Hidden Messages in Water. Hi, Dr. Nemoto.
Hi.
Hey, thank you so much for talking with me. How are you?
Hi, you are welcome.
Thank you again for doing this. I really appreciate it. I talk about Dr. Emoto's work all the time. So it's a real privilege.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you please introduce yourself to the listeners?
My name is Yasuyuki Nemoto, and I have been working for Dr. Emoto since January of year 2002. And actually, I have a doctor degree in biology. And right now, I am the only person who has a scientific background in Dr. Emoto's company. And so, I am, taking care of the scientific aspect of Dr. Emoto. And also, I am working as one of the international secretary to Dr. Emoto. So sometimes, I have been with him for his lecture tour in many different countries.
Right, and what was the last country besides England that you visited before?
This time, of course, I am visiting on behalf of Dr. Emoto, but before the UK, I visited Germany.
Can you just give us an introduction to the work of Dr. Emoto, please?
There are two areas of Dr. Emoto's work, and one of them is about Hado counseling, and which is Dr. Emoto started, I think, in 1980s, and at the beginning he started to import Hado device called MRA. MRA is actually magnetic resonance analyzer, and he imported this device from the US, and he started to sell in Japan. And this is a kind of bioresonance, device. And, the client, Dr. Emoto, treated many clients using this device, and, more than 10,000 clients. He succeeded in curing, many different diseases using this device. So this is a kind of, Hado or vibrational, medicine. And also at the same time, almost at the same time, his friend in the US introduced him a special water. It was when Dr. Emoto was, playing the golf. And because his ankle of his, left leg started to give him a pain, but one of his friends gave Dr. Emoto a special water, and Dr. Emoto just sprayed that water to the ankle, and then immediately the pain was gone, and it was a kind of first encounter for Dr. Emoto to the special water. Just water, but containing special information. And so, Dr. Emoto, started to know that the water can have a memory or special information. And so after a while, he asked one of his staffs to, take a water crystal photograph. And this idea he got from when he was reading the photograph books about snowflakes. And so he thought that snowflakes are, there are no two snowflakes, no two identical snowflakes. And so Dr. Emoto thought that if you freeze the water, then the water crystal might show you the different shape, depending on what kind of information the water contains. So he asked one of his staff, and finally, 3 or 4 months later, they succeeded in taking a first water crystal photograph. And then, year 1999, they published the message from water. So this is about water, of course, the kind of memory of water. So Dr. Emoto's area, there are 2 areas. One of them is about Hado counseling, actually to cure the patient from any disease using vibrational water, or we say Hado water. And the other area is kind of water research using water crystal technologies. And I am in charge of his laboratory, which we call IHM General Institute, and I am now the director of this institute. So actually, I'm working for his area of the water crystal photography. Actually, our company is just a private company, and it's a very small company, and we don't have much funding. And so, some people ask us to take water crystal photography. So we accept the order from outside, and our researcher or our photographers are taking the water crystal photographs. But, and also from time to time, for example, some prayer event or, because usually we are doing water crystal technology, water crystal photography as a business because it takes time and energy, so it's not free. But sometimes we just take water crystal photographs, for example, just before and after some event for our research. And so we are doing this kind of things. And just right now, we are doing this way.
The research that you're doing is you're continuing to photograph water crystals, and you're exposing the water to different sound vibrations, whether it be positive or whether it be negative, and then seeing the results of the water crystals after it's been exposed to different intentions.
Yeah, right. And also that I want to add some more because I have a scientific background. So actually, I don't have much, free time, actually. But I try to do some scientific experiments, which means, for example, I want to establish some, statistically reliable system using water crystal photography. But it's now in the process, not yet finished, of course. It will take some time.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I understand. So, this research, Dr. Nemoto, it's very unique, and it's given us a powerful insight into consciousness and intention. So why do you think so many people around the world are drawn to this work?
Yeah, because, Dr. Emoto could show the people like something invisible. He succeeded in visualizing the information in water. And so he could make the invisible visible. And I think that, for example, I have been with him in many countries, and many indigenous people, or religious people, somehow they know that the water can have a memory. And of course, Dr. Emoto is a man of intuition. So he knows that the water has a memory, or water has information. And many, indigenous people or religious people, they for example, they send love or prayer to water, and they know that the water will change by prayer or love and gratitude. But they don't have, any visual, evidence. But Dr. Emoto just, brought them this visualized image, so it's very helpful for many people. I think because of this message from water has spread to many people.
It really does show how sound and vibration can affect everything. Yeah. And we're initially made up of 70% of water, aren't we?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I remember first seeing Dr. Emoto's work in a documentary called What the Bleep Do We Know?
Yeah.
And it had segments of his work in there. And I mean, it really touched me because it really just show how our thoughts and our manifestations can affect everything around us.
Yeah.
So how does water hold and transmit information? I mean, how?
Oh, that I cannot explain clearly. I know that at least, some scientists are making a theory about, quantum physics, And in Italy, his name is Giudice. I'm not good at pronounce Italian, but there is a famous physicist, and he made a theory about how water can memorize information, I think. But he just away, I think, in the beginning of this year. And also in Japan, I know some scientists who also making a theory about water and human consciousness. But maybe right now it's just a theory. And also in St. James Church, I also explained about Dr. Pluck's scientific work. And I think his theory about, or his experiment or experimental result on the fourth phase of water is very promising. And so I think that if you are asking me about the exact mechanism of how water can have a memory, maybe at present nobody knows. But we try to understand about water more and more. And, as a phenomenon, we have a lot of evidence that the water can have a memory. But still, we don't know exactly what kind of mechanism, the water can have a memory. It's still a question, I think, basically.
So do you think scientists around the world should start investigating this more?
Yeah, I think so. And probably it has something to do with electromagnetic waves. And because if you use a very strong magnetic field, the memory will be erased, the memory in water. So I think that many people are thinking that it has something to do with electromagnetic waves.
Right, and human beings, they actually emit their own electromagnetic fields as well.
Yeah. Right.
Everything has energy.
Yeah.
Can you just explain what kind of water did you use in these experiments?
In the experiments, we use distilled water. Actually, we believe that distilled water is good for cleansing of your body or to detoxify, your body. Mm-hmm. And so we are using basically pure water or distilled water for experiment to see the effect of music or to see the effect of consciousness, so on. Yeah.
You said you used prayer, you used blessings, music, and what kind of words did you use, positive words?
Oh, actually, we have been doing many experiments using different words. In Japanese language, we tried many different Japanese language, and so far the word love and gratitude have most beautiful effect on water crystal photograph. we put the label of love and gratitude to the water, and we took a water crystal photograph from that water, and it showed the most beautiful water crystal photograph. So Dr. Emoto thinks, and we also think, that the water likes the energy of love and gratitude the most.
So love and gratitude is like, it's emitting the most powerful electromagnetic fields.
Yeah, I don't know if it's powerful or I'm not sure, because we have not yet, quantized measure the power as a value. So I don't know if it's powerful or not, but anyway, these love and gratitude gave us the most beautiful water crystals. And Dr. Emoto is thinking that this universe is created based on the energy of love and gratitude. Yeah, so in this sense, it's very powerful, of course.
What kind of negative vibrations were used on the water crystals?
Oh, actually, for example, you-food, or you-food in Japanese, I will kill you or something like that, very bad word.
And what happened to the water crystals? Did any crystals form?
No crystal, so, not any crystal. So they have a very bad effect to water crystal.
And what do you hope that this research and that these findings will achieve?
Just this year, I think, at least as I explained in London, that Dr. Pollack mentioned about the message from water and Dr. Emoto's work on the internet radio program. And so just this year, such a wonderful scientist mentioned Dr. Emoto's work officially. But before that, some scientists are very skeptic, and they criticized Dr. Emoto's work a lot. And it happened in Japan especially. And it was very bad. But Dr. Emoto is not a scientist. He's saying, I'm not scientist, and also he's saying that his work is art, and his work is, even he's saying that his work is fantasy, and so it's not a science yet. But I'm not sure if water crystal technology can become a science soon, but I try to make it a science. But anyway, I think the role of message from water is to inspire many people that water could have a memory. And I think that's a great contribution to the humanity. And so the people started to think the importance of water. And I believe that even scientists, they are thinking that there is a possibility that the water really can have a memory. And so it's a kind of stimulus to those people. And then we have an energy field, so to speak, that we think water can have a memory. And even the message from water is not a science, but maybe somebody else or some other scientists may establish the evidence, may get the scientific evidence which shows that the water can have a memory, maybe using a different method, different way. But it doesn't matter. That's okay for us. And our goal, or what Dr. Emoto wanted to say, is the fact that the water can have a memory and water can transmit the information, so on. So Dr. Emoto is really a man of intuition. So in his case, he just see the final goal or kind of final vision. But science have to go step by step. We have to have evidence. Sooner or later, I think science also will prove that the water can have a memory. And for example, our consciousness affects the shape of water crystal.
people are starting to realize how powerful our consciousness is and where we direct our thoughts and how our thoughts can create our reality. I would be so interested. I really do hope that this work goes to a scientist who is inspired and who will take it that one step further. I remember at the presentation on Monday, you were showing different photographs of the water crystals, and you showed a photograph of London tap water, and it didn't look very good.
Yeah, actually, the London tap water, the photograph was taken more than 15 years ago because I believe it is on the Message from Water, which means that book published in year 1999. So it's kind of old water crystal photographs. So it is possible that very recently the quality of water just improved. In Japan also, recently sometimes we observe nice crystal, even from tap water in Tokyo.
I mean, I was really fascinated as well. Like when you were showing the photographs, you were showing water that's come from natural streams and water that's come from the mountains, and all of these water crystals were absolutely beautiful. And then when you were showing water that has been treated with chemicals, or, you know, it never was quite the same as something from a natural source. A lot of the patterns that are appearing in the water look like sacred geometry. What is your understanding of sacred geometry?
You know, Dramboro Melchizedek, he wrote a book called Flower of Life.
Yeah.
And it's about the sacred geometry. I like the idea of sacred geometry, actually. And so basically the water crystal shows us a hexagonal shape. Or somehow...
Yeah, what's your understanding of it? You know, if someone was to ask you, what is sacred geometry, what would you say?
I think because platonic solids.
Yeah.
You know,
platonic solids.
Yeah. And, you know, or golden ratio or something like that.
The golden ratio, pi, the flower of life. Fibonacci.
Yes. Those kind of things, you know, we can see in nature or in plant or in our body. And even I think the Dramboro Melchizedek is talking about the creation, you know, of this universe. It started from a kind of using sacred geometry. So I'm very interested in sacred geometry. But not so my knowledge is just, you know, on the surface.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an amazing, you know, knowledge to acquire that everything in nature, even humans, everything in the universe has this same geometric pattern. That's what I saw as well in the water crystals. It just looked like geometry.
Yeah.
So, do you believe that there are still some mysteries to discover on the understanding of water and water carrying information?
Of course. A lot of mystery. I think it's, even I explained about Dr. Pollack's work, but still our knowledge is a very, you know, very little percent, small percent of, you know, whole picture, I believe.
A completely different question now, but I remember in your presentation, you were talking about DNA and it being activated in our bodies. Do you believe that 97% of our DNA has not yet been activated? What's your thoughts on this?
I may use a different expression because, you know, I was a researcher about the DNA or molecular biology many years ago, not now. So my knowledge about the DNA is not so, you know, new, but still, of course, in human beings, the genes which can produce, for example, RNA or protein, the ratio is very small, like 3% or I don't remember, but other part of our DNA was thought to be just a junk or, you know, they don't have any function. But I think recently there are many other interpretations, or at least in my opinion, I think every part of DNA has its own meaning. And activation, I'm a scientist, so of course we have a lot of, genes which we don't use. But in a sense, it's a little difficult. But in a sense, if
it's a difficult question. This one.
Yeah, we can switch on many dormant, many sleeping genes by, I don't know, intention or by exercise or, I think so.
This is another mystery, isn't it, this one?
Yeah, but, even the other 97%, I think there might be other function, like other than expression of genes. For example, to make a structure inside the nuclear cell, or, just we don't have enough knowledge to find out their function. So I'm not sure anyway.
That's a
my answer was not good, I think. You can cut.
It's all right. I don't know. I'm not sure who has the answer to that one, but I'm interested to find out.
If I explain Dr. Emoto's, talk, yes, he's saying that we only activated just 3% of DNA, and also in our brain, only 3% is activated. So we have to activate more. And for this, Dr. Emoto is saying that to give love and thanks to the water is very essential.
Do you know what? I have actually started from a long time ago. Anytime I drink water now, I transfer some positive energy, I give it love and gratitude, and then I drink the water.
Wonderful.
Because I always think, hopefully it's an exchange of energy, isn't it? It's with anything. So when you're giving that water your positive love and gratitude, your good vibrations, and then you drink that water, it is going back into you.
Yeah, I think so.
Again, going back to the hidden messages in water. So do you think if more people knew about this work and this research, it would change people's collective consciousness, it would change their perception and give them more knowledge about intention? Do you believe it would do that?
Your question is by the book Hidden Message in Water, or to change the collective consciousness?
Yeah, I mean, I think it relates really, because like you said, it's kind of making the invisible visible.
Yeah.
So do you think if more people were to see this work, it would make them realize how powerful we are?
Yes. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, especially this year, as I said, the scientists, they are thinking about the message from water scientifically. And if, sooner or later, if some scientists really find out any evidence to show that the message from water is true, then I think more and more people will be attracted to Dr. Emoto's books. And the collective consciousness, of humanity will be raised collectively.
I hope so. When you were talking about the indigenous people and how the indigenous people already knew that the water carries information, hence why they give blessings to the water, etc. Have you heard of, when it was the tsunami in Southeast Asia, there was a tribe in the Andaman Islands, and the Andaman Islands are in between India and Thailand, right in the middle of the ocean. And there was a tribe there, and they're very much in tune with the water, with the nature around them. And they knew that the tsunami was coming. So a week before, they evacuated the entire village, and they went up into the hills, and then the tsunami came, it destroyed their village, and then they came back down and rebuilt everything. Scientists in the West were really baffled, and, they were thinking, how did you know that the tsunami was coming? The
Andaman Island.
The Andaman Islands. I mean, this tribe can watch the ocean and read the water like it's information. Because, I mean, obviously, they've been living in this environment for generations, and water has become a part of their life. So I think it would be really interesting to maybe, as a scientist, is to find out more about how they knew and how they know the water carrying information. This would be a really good culture to look at.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Indigenous people, they seem to, it's like we have this amazing new technology, but the traditional wisdom that these cultures carry is so important right now in the age that we're living in.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Dr. Emoto's Peace Project?
Yeah, it's called Emoto Peace Project, and he started. It was the year 2006, I believe, and he started this project in which he decided to deliver the children version of Message from Water to all the children on this planet for free. So this is a Emoto Peace Project, and adult, we support the cost of printing and delivery like that. Dr. Emoto wants to show the younger generation the truth of water. So this is the Emoto Peace Project. And first, in Japan, we printed the Japanese version of the children book. But then, after that, many other people in other countries, they wanted to translate into their own language. And now, I think, about 20 different languages.
So you're spreading this knowledge to the younger generation?
Right, yeah.
Have you ever exposed a water crystal to some didgeridoo vibration?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm so interested to know, because I actually play the didgeridoo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been playing for, I think, like 11 or 12 years.
Oh.
And it's such a powerful, it's just a very old vibration, and it induces trance states in people. People use it for meditation. They use it for sound healing. So I'd really be interested to know what happens to a water crystal after it's exposed to a didgeridoo. I think that should be one of your next experiments, Dr. Nemoto.
Yeah, that's interesting. But for you, I think you need a lot of strength, or I don't know, to play the didgeridoo. No?
Well, it's a difficult instrument to play, yes, because you have to learn how to circular breathe.
Right.
But once you've got it, I think I learned how to circular breathe within 6 months, but I was practicing every day. You know? And then it was when I was in Indonesia, in the jungle, funnily enough, I learned how to circular breathe.
I remember that in the profile on the internet, you wrote that you survived in Indonesia, right?
Well, yeah, I definitely survived. But that's actually where I first encountered indigenous cultures in the rainforest. I lived in the jungle. And
how long?
In Indonesia, it was just for 10 days. But when I was in Borneo, that was for 4 months, doing my research out there, because I did international development as a degree. So I did my dissertation on indigenous cultures in the rainforest, their knowledge of survival, of the medicinal plants. And
wonderful.
It was absolutely amazing. So I'm really have a big interest in cultures that live in natural environments. I think their wisdom, ignoring their wisdom, is like burning down libraries. Yeah,
right. So I think that now, my opinion is the fusion between the modern culture and indigenous culture is important. Both are important, I think.
Do you remember what indigenous cultures Dr. Emoto showed the water crystal photographs to?
Oh, he has many connections with many different indigenous people. I think, for example, the most intimate connection that we have with the Hopi tribe.
The Hopi tribe, yes.
Yeah. And one of the elders came to Japan to see Dr. Emoto. But, wherever he visits, other countries, usually he will meet some indigenous people there.
Right now, globally, there's talk going on about a global shift in consciousness.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, my feeling is, my personal feeling is this year 2014, and the next year, and, 2 years later, I feel like a hop, step, jump, 3 steps. And because in Italy, I'm now in Rome, in Italy, other spiritual groups, they want to have a event in Japan in year 2016. The group is actually the Circle of Life, or their group of a school of Reiki healing.
Yeah.
In Italy, it's a Gendai Reiki healing group, but they told me their plan. Year 2016, and they want to come to Japan, and they want to have some event. The purpose is to neutralize the radioactivity in Fukushima. And I was very much moved, and I will support them in any way. And I think personally that this year, we are already in October, but next year we may have some progress, I believe, next year. And then year 2016, maybe we are ready to shift our collective consciousness. So I feel that this year, next year, and 2 years later, those 3 years are very critical. This is my personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, or I'm not sure, but I feel like this.
We're going through a lot of transitions at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, right.
Things are really changing. I'm always interested to hear people's opinions about this. A lot of people are talking about it, and yes, there is a lot of bad things going on in the world right now, but at the same time, I really believe we have to connect all of these like-minded peoples who are trying to raise the vibration of the collective consciousness. So I'm always interested to hear people's opinions about this subject.
Yeah, actually, I'm now in Rome, and I am one of the speakers of the event here in Rome, which is actually held by the Gendai Reiki group in Italy. And actually, yesterday, Lynn McTaggart, Lynn McTaggart, the author of the field, she came, and I listened to her presentation. And today, the Roger Nelson came, and I just listened to his presentation. And his project is a global consciousness project, I think. He was working at Princeton University, and Global Consciousness Project is a GCP, I guess. And he's using a random number generator, and our collective consciousness can change the device, the output of device. And anyway, all of them, including myself, we are talking about the shift of collective consciousness, or we're talking about oneness. As you said, completely, it's really resonating here also. So I think that because year 2012, many people expected that something would happen at the end of year 2012. But I think really the collective consciousness of humanity, I believe, will change maybe these 3 years, coming 3 years, or this year and the coming 2 years.
One last question about the water crystals, Dr. Nemoto. Thank you so much for your time. Using polluted water, I'm interested to know if it works on water that's been tainted with chemicals. Is it still possible to produce a water crystal?
Oh, I think so, because, water crystal is the reflection of the information contained in water. So even the chemically, polluted water, if we put our sincere love and gratitude energy into the water, then this water may show you very beautiful water crystal.
Have you done an experiment like that? Have you used polluted water?
Because basically, for example, in Message from Water book, because one Buddhist monk prayed for the water at the Fujiwara Dam, we call it. It's a small lake. And before that, the water was very dirty, actually, physically. And even after the prayer, this Buddhist monk gave a fire ceremony to the water of the lake, 1 hour fire ceremony. And after that, the surface of the lake became very calm. But I think I asked the person who actually took the water crystal photograph before and after the prayer at Fujiwara Dam. And this is a kind of famous photograph. And I think you saw what brief do we know that the before and after the photograph. And after the prayer, it showed a brilliant, so nice water crystal. But before the prayer, the shape of the water crystal was like a ghost. But anyway, I asked the person who took those water crystals, and he said physically those water were so dirty anyway. And he didn't expect any water crystal, water crystal at all. But physically, it was still very dirty. But after the prayer, after the prayer, he took a so nice water crystal. This is one example. And also, maybe another example is the water from Ganges River.
The Ganges.
Ganges, yeah. I have never been there, but anyway, the very nice water crystal from the water.
Yeah, you can get really nice water crystals. I mean, the river Ganges, it's considered holy for the people out there. Holy waters, and so many people go there to pray and to offer their blessing. So the water crystal must have been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So before we end, Dr. Nemoto, is there anything are there any messages you'd like to share with the listeners today?
Yeah, I want to say thank you to you. Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. And anyway, because next week I'm going to go Bulgaria. And so I'll give a presentation on behalf of Dr. Emoto. And in Bulgaria, it's a water conference. It's for scientists. And so I hope that we will create the wonderful connection with real scientists there. And so for the listener, maybe I think generally speaking, because so far even we didn't expect or we didn't have any direct connection with scientists so far or until very recently. But now we are, making a connection with them. And so I think it's a good news. And if sooner or later I expect some scientists will get evidence to show that Dr. Emoto's vision is, true or correct. And so we will see. Anyway, so I just want the listener to know that we are now at this kind of process, in this kind of process. So please support us.
I hope if any scientists are listening, or anyone in fact, just pass on this knowledge to as many people as possible, because it needs to get into some hands of people who are going to take it further, and take it that next step. And that's really great to hear. That's happening now. So, and I wish you all the best of luck for this conference, Dr. Nemoto. I really hope you connect with some scientists out there who can take this research to the next level. Dr. Emoto's work, we would love to see more. And if it's going to assist in the power of consciousness and how our intentions can affect our reality and each other, then more power to it, I say.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for talking with me on the Natural Healing Show today on UK Health Radio.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. And before you go, I'm thinking I'm going to record some didgeridoo and I'm going to send it to you.
Oh, yeah.
To expose it to a water crystal, see what happens.
Right. And just one more addition, because as you are right, because the most important point is because each one of us has a power to create the world. That's the ultimate message, I think. Ultimate.
Well, bless you. Thank you so
thank you.
much. Love and gratitude to you, Dr. Nemoto. Lovely to talk to you, Yasu. Thank you so much for giving me your time and your energy and for sharing your thoughts on the Natural Healing Show.
Peace. Positive energy activates constant elevation.
What needs to be understood really is that there are still a lot of unanswered questions to do with water and if water can carry information. It's good to look outside of the box sometimes. Remember, you can listen to any of the previous shows on podcasts now. If you go to naturalhealing.podbean.com, you can listen to, download and share. Please do feel free to get in touch on social networks, Facebook and Twitter at UK Healing and Facebook/Natural Healing Show. Share any ideas, any knowledge, any information to do with natural healing. It would be great to connect. I've posted a couple of articles about the tribe in the Andaman Islands, so I hope you all enjoyed this talk with Dr. Yasuyuki Nemoto, sending much love and gratitude to everyone who's listening. It's always great to share this knowledge.
Keep it natural with the Natural Healing Show.